What's up, guys? I got my special guest here, Vincenso, who's joining us from our WhatsApp group. Vin is out in Colombia doing some soul searching. No, I'm kidding. How are you, Vin? What's going on?
Oh, it's going great. Thanks, Wayne. Thanks for having me. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. We were just watching the highlights from today. Roma 3, Can 0. One of the teams that the Friedkins owns under their umbrella. They just started a new entity that's going to manage all these different teams that they're acquiring. And one thing that you said to me I didn't immediately catch on the second goal was that touch from Baldanzi. I thought that was a great play there. You know, you can't like take this match too seriously because this is a team which I think is in like the fourth division, Con. And one thing that I noticed really wasn't there wasn't like too much tactical discipline. I didn't see a Gasperini team yet. Of course, it's still so early. You have any takeaways in these clips or from the statistics that you've seen so far?
I think it's interesting the formation. It's a little bit different than the one I think everyone was expecting to have, which is the two and the one up top. But perhaps that's how it is, and Baldanci's out on the right. But Baldanci looked like he played a hell of a game, and that's definitely a player to watch for me going forward because of that vacancy on the left center attacking mid position.
Yeah, I was so glad to see Gasperini give him the time. I was worried that he wasn't going to get any chance at all in front of the new manager and he was immediately just going to be shipped out. But this is a player who I really love, and I think like most fans really like Baldanzi. They want to see him incorporated into the side as an attacking midfielder. Like he's such a good pocket player, like a true trequartista. He drives the
Yeah.
attack. Like he's dynamic. Like you mentioned, he makes these smart little touches or plays that are sometimes underrated if you're not watching carefully. And you mentioned that it's a 1-2 in the attack. Sometimes Gasparini's attacks are more like a 3-4-3. I do want to point out one thing. As we talk about Wesley, people are going to be like, oh, the right back of Brazil, the right wing back. He's not that. I want to point out, based on today, he has defensive capabilities. He is an old school right midfielder. In like, let's say it's the year 1998, and you're playing a 4-4-2. He's playing on the right side of that midfield, all the way on the flank. So I think it's kind of like this new, or I should say, a reinvented position where we called them wing backs because they were originally right backs or left backs who started to take more offensive space. But now it's completely changed into something entirely different. Even Manchester United are playing with what's his name, Dorku, who they signed at left back. I said left back, left mid really from Lecce. So that position's super dynamic. Today we got to see him get his first go, and I think I texted our group right that he had some big numbers today. Just looking
Yeah, you
through.
said something like six tackles, most in the game.
Yeah, exactly. 6 tackles, which is like most of the game, exactly. So that's impressive that he's getting into the thick of things immediately from the get go. Replaces Wrench, I believe in the second half that was. Salah Dean gets the start here as well, but then Angelino replaces him. No surprise with Ndika starting at center back, and then Mancini stepped on for Selic. They all switched out, of course. In this type of friendly, you're going to see a lot of rotation. Some people are starting to notice that Hermoso might be something like even a new signing, and he
Mm.
had the first ball to El Shaarawy. So having that little advantage of a player who comes back from loan, you see him slot in, looks actually like a defender who Gasperini can truly utilize for his ball playing capabilities, whereas the other two center backs, they'll be more of the speed guys. But you get Hermoso the ball, and he can play it big. I want to ask you something, Vin, off the cuff. Do you think if Hermoso, Indica, Ghilardi, who's going to land in Rome tomorrow, and Kambula, if these guys are fit, do you think Mancini still starts?
Yeah, yeah. I think Mancini starts at the right slot there over Chelik. I think he
Mm-hmm.
has to because I think Gilardi would be in the middle. I don't like Mancini in the middle. I think he's too prone to making fouls, And in the middle, I think I'd rather him a little bit out wide, but he's a good leader. For me, yes, Mancini starts.
Okay. I'm going to go starting back three. And I think what I saw today was a bunch of fouls across the board, but also from Mancini. I think that by December, your starting back three, fully fit, is going to be Hermoso, Indica, and Ghilardi. I'm going there. I'm gonna put a bet on this. So I don't know what I'm betting, but it's something. It's my morality.
Is Hermoso left-footed? How come he plays in the left slot there?
I don't remember if he is or he's not.
That's
I don't.
weird to me because Ndika's that's like Ndika's like spot right there for me, unless I'm wrong.
Indica can play, I think, pretty much every position due to his. He can use his physicality and his speed just to make up for any type of tactical mistake more often than not. And the fact that Gasperini plays man to man rather than zone, I think, is a big plus for him. So, but that's one thing. Like you mentioned, Mancini and him playing in the right center back role. He likes to get that ball and really boot it up. He's a good player that can advance that ball past, like, transition from the midfield into the attack. He can play very direct, so he's got a good long ball. But does he have the speed? Does he have the fitness? I don't know. There's a couple times where Mancini's been exposed, but he's the vice captain. I don't really see him not starting. But at the same time, Gasperini's ruthless, and I think that if everybody's fit, I think things can start to change a little bit. But look at that midfield. El Ainaoui gets to start, number 8. He's got guts for taking that. I really like what he had to say, as well as if you guys catch the interviews, the introduction interviews when these players sign. Roma's social media does a good job at letting these players speak and kind of like more candid, open interviews. Like one thing I didn't know, I don't know if you caught it, Vin, but Wesley said that he quit football for a period of time, like during COVID.
Really? Yeah. No, I didn't catch that. I watched a couple of them on the Instagram there, but no, I didn't catch that.
Yeah, and his sister started sending him like inspirational posts on Instagram, and I think eventually his agent called him, and they're like, this team, it wasn't Flamengo, it was the team before Flamengo. They were like, they need an extra player. Can you play like 5 games with them? And then he got back into football. And he got transferred from there to Flamengo, where he became really big, and he just became like this dominant force. And I think he's been called up by Brazil. He'll probably end up being their starting right-sided player. So
yeah. There's videos of him guarding Luis Diaz.
Really?
Yeah. There's like a highlight reel of him versus Luis Diaz, Brazil versus Colombia. Yeah.
Speaking of Colombians, you know where I'm going to go with this. So this website, Rising Stars, right? This one Twitter account. I'm going to pull it up before I go any further, because it's almost a little bit silly. I don't want to like make fun. I'm not making fun of their account. I'm just pointing out that some of the stuff is a little over dramatic. Like, on social media, people hype things up a lot. So I want to show you something really quick. I'm going to share this tab. All right, fair play, right? Richard Rios today against Sporting in the Portuguese Super Cup. 11 out of 13 ground duels won. That's amazing for a midfielder, right? 100% of aerial duels won. I'm not sure. It could have been 1. It could have been 2. That's why you got when you look at statistics, you got to really dig to see what they are.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Sometimes they can be, misleading.
Yeah, misleading. You could twist them around whatever way you want. 32 passes, whatever, 78% accuracy. So you're missing more than 1 out of every 5. 3 out of successful long balls, a half of successful take-ons. So I'm like, wait a minute. You're trying to make this out like this guy is like the next coming of Costa Curta. In reality, so I wrote, and I'm like, bro, you got to like take a step back. When you look at these stats, like that's not good. 78% pass accuracy from a center mid. If that was me, I would remember every one of those bad passes that I made on that day. 3 out of 6 successful long balls. So half of your daring passes didn't make it. That's not really good either. If it was
he's
like
not
4 out of 6, no, he's not.
No, he's
for
not.
Sure. So even look, somebody mentioned it too. Like, that's not great. So. Anyway, but I don't want to keep bringing him up anyway because I'm happy with
Yeah,
El
I know what you
Ghilardi.
mean. It's kind of like looking back on your ex a little bit and trying to find trying to
Yeah,
hate watch a little bit, see, not
yeah,
looking as
hate
good
watch.
anymore.
But
No, but he's
speaking
not. He's
of
not Paredes. He would have been the replacement of Paredes in my view. But he brings the physicality. But as far as like that forward pass, that just I just loved that so much about Paredes. The way that he could just find a pass that me watching from a bird's eye view couldn't even see. I just loved that.
Boca's
But
going
yeah.
through it. They're going through a tough moment at Boca right now.
Oh yeah, they are.
They're like,
Yeah, they
yeah,
are.
it doesn't sound good for him.
No, they
But
already got knocked out of the cup, I think.
yeah. But speaking of Argentinians, I'm gonna X out of this ad here, and we get Echeverri. That's how I'm gonna pronounce it. You don't know if it's
It's
Echeverri.
Cheveri. Okay.
We were trying to find out before air if he was Italian or not, and that would have changed the grammatical pronunciation. But this would be insane, Vin. Like if
Oof.
Roma signed Echeverri out on the left,
Mm-hmm.
wherever, out on the right, I don't care. Put him on the field. Roma signed one of Argentina's absolute star youngsters, along with Sule, Dybala, Baldanzi, and let's say Dahlbeck and Ferguson, whatever. That is a power move. Do you think it's real? Do you think it could
Yeah.
possibly happen?
I think it's real. I think it would benefit both for him to be loaned out to Roma, both Manchester and Manchester City and Roma. It's. I think Leo made a good point in the group chat about that we should have a buy option because it's kind of like we're developing their player for free, or But he is
Oh, I
worth.
think
I
it's
think it would be
definitely with
worth
an
it. He's
option.
so good.
The only thing I think that it's going to be is when there is a buy option, which there will be, that they're going to have a repurchase fee. So if that purchase is if that's 45, there's no way Manchester City are going to do business where it's not in their best interest, right?
Yeah.
So Roma buy for 40, City can buy back for 55. I think that'll end up being like the type of situation that we see here, but man, I mean, I've seen his videos when he was back at River. I've watched Masto Antonio. The amount of talent between those two plus Sule,
Oh, those two
Argentina's,
youngsters were crazy. Yeah.
yeah,
Master
it's
Tuano or whatever.
ridiculous to
Yeah.
me. This is like Echeverri easily, obviously, Manchester City is one of the best teams in the world. He could have easily went to Real Madrid or Barcelona just as well. So
Mm-hmm.
to possibly acquire this type of talent would be insane, but also like it's not that far fetched when you think of this young player wants to display his talent ahead of the World Cup, and why shouldn't he? And honestly, would you want to live in Manchester? I've been to Manchester. It's a terrible place. I'm sorry if somebody here is watching. It's awful, man. The food is like, God forgive me, it was one of the worst places I've been. It's run down. It's not pretty. The weather is terrible. And it's just like I've been to Liverpool too. Like my cousin lived in Liverpool. He worked for them. That as a city, I mean, I saw it a little bit more. Had some nicer parts while still being industrial and still being a little bit like ghetto in some areas. But
Mm-hmm.
man, imagine you don't speak much English at all, if any. You're a teenager, and all of a sudden you're thrown into this chaos of a Manchester City that's on the decline, with Guardiola losing his hair and losing his brain at the same time. You got to be like, what is going on in my life? You got to be
You have to be
homesick. You got to
perfect
be
too. Like,
depressed.
yeah.
And I don't really want to go there, but like the women, if you're a 19-year-old Argentinian superstar, Manchester versus Rome, where are you going, bro? Where are you going for the scene?
Get yourself a nice Donna, Get yourself a nice Roman
Yeah.
Donna. Call it a day,
There's plenty. So we'll leave it there for now. Vin, I want you to give me your starting 11. Let's say Ghilardi is official because tomorrow he will be. What is your starting 11 going into match day 1?
Okay. Spilar goalie, of course. I got Mancho in the right slot. I got Ndika in the left slot, and a little bit of a risk take. I think putting Gilardi in the middle. I know as a young center back, being right in the middle. I think we saw with Dean Hoyson, he made
Mm-hmm.
some mistakes in his first couple games in the middle, but the guy is a baller. But I think Gilardi, I think he could slot in right in the middle there, and He's got that leadership capability, like you said
He's
before.
big
He's the
too.
leader of the U21, so I like him there. That's my
And he's
back
tall.
line. Yeah, he's tall too. Yeah, and I got Wesley and Angelino on the flanks. I think those are forever the starters. I think Anas and Wrench will be forever the backups. Kind of like an Inter model where you've got the Dumfries and DeMarco are like habitual starters, and then you've got the other guys. I think it was Carlos Augusto and one other I'm forgetting that would always come on as subs. I think that's kind of how it's gonna go. Um, Wesley brings like he's got something that you can't teach, and that's speed. Like that guy's got some speed.
Yeah, no,
He's
he's a baller.
young. I love it. My most exciting signing for this summer so
Yeah.
far. Uh, and then in the middle, I think you got to go with the two Frenchies. Unfortunately, no, but I think they'll. Let's hope they'll do well. I think when you go up against some stronger competition in the midfield, you might get outplayed in the midfield. But when we've got such a strong flank and perhaps a strong counterattack capability and strong defense, I think we can come out okay. So we've got El Neil. I'm going to call him that, number 8, and we've got Kone. That's my two center mids. I think that's what everyone's got so far. I think Brian. It's interesting. Brian's getting a lot of Cristante's getting a lot of playtime in these friendlies because
Yeah.
I thought he was gone,
Me too.
but
Thought he was
maybe
definitely
he's
going
got
to
that
Como.
Gasperini link. I know that he. Oh yeah, you think so? I hope so. Honestly, I hope
I
so.
thought no, I thought he was
But
definitely
I
going
don't
to
want to be a hater.
Como. I was like, this is it. But like you said, his
Uh-huh.
ex-boss, who he rose under, played more of an attacking role for him. That was the reason why Roma bought Cristante, because he was so good statistically that year, and then he was sold.
Yeah, maybe Gasperini saw those times we played Brian Cristante at center back, and he's like, "Man, what the hell are these guys doing?" Like, let me
Yeah.
coach the guy. You're using him wrong. And
Mm-hmm.
maybe that's why he's trying to make a point or something. I don't know. But I think he'll be. Yeah, he looks like he's going to be a big part of the team this year.
All right, now you got to make a choice
And
here. You're either going to go with a 1-2 or you're going to go with a 3 across.
I'm going 2-1. I'm going Sule. Sule's got to start for me. I think he was our best player this last season. Like in the second half of the season when it really mattered, when went on that run. I think he was the standout player for me. So I think he starts over Dybala. I love Dybala, but I think he comes on as like a Muriel type super sub,
Okay.
scoring late minute goals. And in tournament play, Dybala is going to score a penalty, so I like him coming off the bench. And Dybala is my favorite player in the team, but I think Sule starts just for the energy because he can track back as well, you know. I've got Dovbyk starting. Sorry, I think Dovbyk. It's still Dovbyk's until something happens. I think it's definitely Ferguson's for the taking, but I think until then, I'm gonna stick with the status quo. I got Dovbyk, and then that left slot, that left wing position. I think I'll put Baldanzi, and maybe Baldanzi comes back and plays as like a 10 because Sule likes to play out wide. And then when you switch it up, when you've got Echeverri, he likes to play wide, and then Dybala likes to play as the 10. So that would be like the two subs. You've got the 10 from the one side and the 10 from the other side. When minute 70 or so,
Sure.
the little switch up there. That's my starting 11. I got Baldanzi starting.
That's nice. It's a nice team there, honestly. It's not my starting 11. Tell you
Not
that.
yours? Is not yours? Okay, no problem. No
It's not
problem.
mine. Because I'm going 1-2. I'm going Dybala in the hole, and I am going to go
Ooh.
Ferguson starting on the left and Sule on the right. So
Mm.
Dybala a touch withdrawn. That's what I would go with. I know it's preemptive to go with Ferguson over Dovbyk, but I've seen what Dovbyk can do, and it's good. But I think Ferguson can be great. That's what interests me about him. All right,
I
we
like his
have.
front three. I like that. That's
Oh yeah,
dynamic.
thank you. So,
I like that
um,
because it's like today. Because today you had El Sharawi up top, but he was like a winger, and you'd have
yeah,
Sule up top, but as like a winger, and Ferguson's right-footed. That's a big deal too. Dolvik is very left-footed, and we've got a lot of
yeah.
left-footed
He
players.
can't do anything with his opposite foot. It's like criminal. I'm like, you're a striker, but one last question here, Vin. I'll let you get back on vacation. You have just been gifted, not from me, from somebody, You've been gifted the third kit, the beautiful new, almost looks like a tennis shirt. Who are you getting on the back?
Um, Probably Sule or Dybala.
Slayer
What do you
Dybala?
think?
I'm going Dybala. I think this kit with Dybala on the back would be a serious, like if my son asked me 15 years from now and he was like, "Who's on the back?" I'd be like, "Sule." He'd be like, "That's amazing," because Sule in time is going to be a legend.
Yeah,
But if
yeah,
you
yeah,
have,
yeah.
if you have Dybala, for me, he defined an era, and he still does. Like Sule could go on, he could be sold to Nottingham for 80 million, or to Chelsea, or to PSG, and he becomes just another super talented Argentinian. But Dybala is a legend of Serie A, and I think because he's so iconic within Italy, and he was one of my favorite players, like actually my favorite active player after
Oh,
Totti.
same. No, he's my favorite.
So
He's definitely my favorite.
yeah, for me, I think I'm gonna, if this gets back in stock and you can customize it on the Adidas site, I think I'm
Hmm.
gonna end up getting this. So I don't
Yeah.
really buy jerseys, like maybe once in a while. Um, that and maybe Arsenal's third kit this season is also really sharp. I like cannons because I teach history, so
Hmm.
like I teach like Napoleon and stuff like that. So
I'm a teacher too, by the way. I don't know if you remember.
I didn't know that.
I teach geography and science.
No, I didn't remember that. So
Yeah, yeah,
guys,
yeah.
guys out there, if you have any questions, you got a wealth of information right here. If you need to
Yeah.
cheat on Jeopardy, we can help
Hmm.
you out.
Hmm.
All right, Vin. We will talk throughout the season. We're gonna let you go. All right.
Alrighty.
All right,
Ciao,
guys.
Wayne.
Let us know what you think. Let us know also about Vin's starting 11 here. Talk to you soon.